Good morning children, this is Karan sir, your S.ST teacher, and I welcome you all to the virtual class of Scottish Public School class 5. So today it is the very first day of your virtual class. So we are going to start the fourth chapter of your S.ST book. So I request all of you to open the book, go to page number 1, which is the chapter number 1 also. So the first chapter is about globe. So in earlier classes we have already studied about the globe. What is a globe? The simple definition of a globe is a perfect model of Earth. So we are going to know in detail about the globe. We will know too many things in this chapter. So the first chapter, it says locating a place on a globe. Yeah, locating places on a globe. So how can we do that? Let's start. So I hope all of you are on the same page. Yeah, this chapter says the lines on a globe. So students, there are few important lines on a globe, like lines of latitude, lines of longitude. So what is the line of latitude and what is a line of longitude? So let's have a look on the board. So please concentrate and continuously don't skip the video and try to look at the board. Okay, so suppose that this is a globe, and as we all know, the imaginary line that divides the earth into two equal halves is known as equator. So this line is known as equator. So this is equator. Okay, we all know that the line, it means this is not a real line on the earth, but this is an imaginary line that divides the earth into two equal halves is known as equator. So when it is divided, this always keep that in mind, on a map or on a globe, always the side which is towards the top or which is at the top, it indicates the north side, and at the bottom it is south. It is south. So this half, it means half, this half of the globe will be known as northern hemisphere. It is northern hemisphere. And the other part, automatically it will become southern hemisphere. It is southern hemisphere. So we have to keep that in mind. The upper part of the globe is known as northern hemisphere and the lower part or the bottom one is southern hemisphere. Okay children? Okay. Now this line, equator, is also known as the latitude, 0 degree latitude. This is known as 0 degree latitude. It means this is the longest latitude. Suppose that if I am drawing lines on this globe randomly, so you will find that these lines, as I am going upwards, the lines are becoming shorter, and this line, this is the longest line, as here the width of the earth is the bigger than any other point on the globe. So this one becomes the longest latitude. It is known as 0 degree latitude. It is known as 0 degree latitude. Latitude means the lines which goes parallel to the equator are known as latitudes. So these are, latitudes are also known as parallels. You have to keep that in mind. Latitude, the other name of latitude is parallel. parallels. So latitudes are also known as parallels. Here a question may arise, what is the other name of latitude? Then you have to answer, the other name of the latitude is a parallel. Okay? And similarly this also goes. So there are few very important lines that everybody has to keep in mind. If we go, this is equator, if we go upward, suppose that this is 10 degree, so 10 degree north, it will be written as 10 degree north, it will be written as 20 degree north, and somewhere here you will find 23.5 degree north, which is known as Tropic of Cancer. It is also known as Tropic of Cancer. And similarly, when you are going bottom towards the south from the equator, it is somewhere here 23 and a half degree south. It is known as Tropic of Capricorn, and this is Tropic of Cancer. You have to keep that in mind. These are very important lines. So the earth, as we know, is huge. If we want to tell someone the location of a place on this vast sphere, how will we do that? So one of the easiest way to give the exact location of a place is with the help of a grid. Now the question arises, what is a grid? So as I have told you that this is equator, these are the parallels. Similarly, there are few lines which goes from upwards to downwards. These are known as longitudes. What my point? Longitudes means the lines which are coming from north to south, or those who are coming from up to down. These lines are known as longitudes. The other name of longitudes are also, these lines are also called as, let me tell you, meridians. They are also known as meridians. So similarly, this will go like this. So this is how a globe is formed. Now you can clearly see in this picture that these small blocks or the houses, these are known as grids. So these are important thing. What will be the definition of grid? It means the grids formed by intersecting lines of latitude and lines of longitude are known as grid. The network formed by intersecting lines of latitude and longitude is called grid. This is grid. So if you want to tell somebody the location of India, that you have to keep one thing in mind. The Indian, suppose that Asian continent, it entirely lies in the northern hemisphere. It means the upper half of the earth it lies, and India also lies somewhere here. It is also like from the in the upper part of the earth. So we have to keep that in mind, that this line, Tropic of Cancer, it passes through India. You have to keep that in mind. This line intersects India into almost equal halves. So our country India, it lies totally in the northern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere means, as I told you, the upper half. It is northern hemisphere, and the lower half, it is southern hemisphere. You have to keep that in mind, that upper one is northern and this is southern hemisphere. So India lies here. It means India remains here, totally in the upper part of the globe. Let's go to the book again. One of the easiest way, as I told you, the grid, the information about the grid, the lines of longitude and the lines of latitude. you have to know that to find the location of the surface of the earth. So we use a grid made of the two sets of imaginary lines, lines of latitude and lines of longitude. You have to keep that in mind that these things, these lines, whether it is parallels or the meridians, these both kind of lines are imaginary. They are not in real, but the people have just made this system to locate a place on the earth's surface. That's why they have projected some imaginary lines. The lines of latitude. Lines of latitude are imaginary lines that run across the globe in east-west direction. So this will automatically become east side and this will become west side. So the lines which are going from east to west, it means it is going from this side to this side. So these lines are known as lines of latitude. It means you can see these lines, those were going parallel. Parallel means those lines, those were at the equal distance. Suppose that this line is here, other line starts from here. So it will go parallel to each other. It means they have similar distance between them throughout the passage. Keep that in mind. So they run parallel to the equator. The imaginary line that runs round the middle on the earth, their lines, therefore lines of latitude are also known as the parallels. Why it is called parallels? These lines are called parallels because all these lines are going parallel to the equator. It means this line equator, all the lines are going parallel to the equator. You have to keep that in mind. This is the reason why all these lines are known as parallels also. Now, features of the latitude. There are some special features about the latitude and of the latitude. We have to remember them and we have to know them in deep so that you will have a full idea and your concept will be clear about the lines of latitude or important lines on a globe. So lines of latitude mark the distance of a place north and south from the equator. It means these lines, those who are going parallels, they are only to mark a distance from the equator. It means, suppose that somebody says 60 degree south from the 60 degree, suppose 60 and a half degree south. It means somewhere, suppose that each grid are having 10 degree, so here somewhere here it will be 66. So these lines are just to mark the distance from this line. What will be the distance from these to this? It means this is the distance of this place is at the distance of 66 and a half. So this is known as at 66 degree we can find Arctic circle. At the top Arctic circle and at the bottom it is Antarctic circle. We have to keep that in mind. At 23 and a half Tropic of Capricorn and towards the north side 23 and a half it is Tropic of Cancer. Similarly, somewhere around 66.5 degree north it is Arctic circle and towards the bottom side it is towards 66 and a half degree south it is Antarctic circle. These are the very important lines that you have to always keep in mind. These 5 lines. Suppose the equator it's 0 degree. Going towards 23 and a half degree north, it is Tropic of Cancer. And in the northern hemisphere, going towards 66 and a half north, it is Arctic circle. Similarly, going towards the bottom side, 23 and a half degree south, it is Tropic of Capricorn. In the same way, at the 66.5 south, it is Antarctic circle. So, parallels are the number from the equator, 0 degree, they increase in the value as they move north and south way from the equator till they reach the poles. It means this point, this is known as north pole. Similarly, when we move to the bottom, this point is known as the south pole. So when we are going up or going down from the equator, the value increases. This is 0 degree, this is 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, similarly it goes on. And when we are going down, 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree or so on. Got my point? So when we move from away from the equator, whether towards the north pole or towards the south pole, doesn't matter, but the value of the distance it increases. Okay. The next point says the parallels to the north of the equator are numbered 0 and it means towards the north, and the parallels to the south are equator numbered at degree south. It means the north pole at 90 degree and south pole at 90 degree south. 90 degree north pole and 90 degree south, it is south pole. The parallels are at an equal distance from the another. It means all the lines are at an equal distance. It means from the equator, if you are going up, this is 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree. It means it cannot be written as 25 degree, 30. It means the all imaginary lines are at the equal distance from each other. Next point, they form complete circles which increases in size as they move away from the equator, and north pole and south pole are just points. Okay. Next thing, there are 180 degree of latitude in all. It means the numbers, how many parallels are there? There are 180. It means from here to here it is 90 parallels, and from here to here it is 90 parallels. It means total how many? 90 plus 90 it is 180. Total number of parallels, is 180. You have to keep that in mind. Similarly, important lines of latitude. There are few important. You have to keep that in mind. That the line of the equator, 0 degree latitude, Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 north, Tropic of Cancer at 23.5 south, the Arctic Circle at 66.5 north, and the Antarctic Circle at 66.5 south. You have to remember that, and tomorrow I will ask you to send this in a written form on my WhatsApp number when we will have the live interaction at the evening from 6 to 7 o'clock. So tomorrow we will take this chapter ahead. Till then, bye bye. Take care and read this chapter properly at home. Write all the lines of latitude important and remember them. Thank you. Bye.